Now that we've got particles moving, let's go and randomize things a little bit. I'm starting to notice a little bit of similarity in the movement of these particles. So I can go and try and randomize things like the turbulence scale or the animation speed. I'll jump back into the ice tree. And of course, on our new compound, I've exposed many inputs, and of course I can start to plug into them as well. So I've got a few randomized value by ranges in my graph already, so I'll copy and paste those, and I'll just make note of the turbulence scales I currently use. So I didn't really want a low frequency like this. I'm going to keep my turbulence scale around maybe 4, which should have a bit of a faster... There we go. Something like that is kind of what I was looking for. So let's randomize around that value for turbulence scale. And as for turbulence speed, let's randomize around about 0.1, say between 0.7 and 1.2. So I'll copy and paste there. And for turbulence scale, I'm just going to drive all 3 of them with my randomized by range. So 180 is quite large. Don't need that. I can also change the random seed just to keep it different from the other randomized value by ranges in my scene, even though the values are different. I'll use a value of, say, 3 and 5 for the scale, just to get me some subtle difference, not too much. And in the animation speed, I use a range of, let's go 0.78 and 1.3. Okay, that should be enough to break them up. Okay, great. That's exactly what it should be doing. Next, I'm going to go and add in a random size. So to do that, we're going to write the size to the ice tree. We could also do it, I guess, on initialization as well. But I'm just going to write it as a set value. So if I look up size, or even scale, size might be a little too generic. Let's actually use the particle scale this time. And this way I can lengthen some of the leaves. Rather than dealing with an XYZ size, I can deal with each of the axes themselves. So I'll call up a scalar to 3D vector node to do that. And I'll make sure the simulate particles is down below. I'll output the set particle scale execute into port 3, and then I'll add a little bit of randomization to the particles. So their size was 0.525. So if I use some random values on X and Z, so grab a randomized value by range node, I'll set the random range here 0.35 to 0.65. Copy paste that twice. Just change the random seed on both of them so you're not generating similar random values on both the X and Z axes. And then on the y-axis, we'll run another randomized value by range. And copy paste that. Again, just change our random seed so that the random values generated aren't, again, the same. And if 0.5 is our benchmark, then we'll go with 0.35. We'll have some extra long leaves, 0.82. See if that doesn't look a bit too ridiculous. Yeah, so now we're actually getting quite a bit more variety because we've got leaves of different sizes, and they're of course all still blowing in the wind. I might just up the size a little more. Jump back into the ice tree on the x-axis. Probably pump these up a little bit as well, maybe on the Z. They were just a little too thin. There we go. So the size now taken care of as well.